Yo, what is up, Sex Beast? Crazy Rabbit here, and today we're going to be doing top 5 pistols to have on high rounds, so let's go ahead and get the shit started. Coming in number 5 is going to be the 357 Magnum. Now, 3 pistols on this list, the top 3 actually do some work, and the numbers 4 and 5 are just like, just imagine I shrugged my shoulders and like did that little hand gesture and just went like, I mean, they're okay, they're not going to do anything special, they're probably about like average. I feel like Treyarch does this thing to where they give like 3 guns OP powers even on high rounds, and then they give like every other gun in that category like really shit stats. I've seen that's a common theme in zombies. There's really no middle ground guns in there. I mean, I guess like overall it might be like pistols, submachine guns. Well, actually I would say submachine guns, then pistols, and then assault rifles. But we're getting off topic here. I think you guys know what I meant. I just think there's too big of a gap between the guns that do work and the guns that actually don't work. And the 357 Magnum isn't really that good. I mean, it does pretty well, but it's nothing special. It's only going to get you like a couple kills. It just really doesn't have a fast enough fire rate. I feel like if it had a faster fire rate, it would be a much better gun. But its fire rate is pretty slow and the damage isn't all too great. But I mean, I feel like if this gun had double tap 2.0, it would be a really badass weapon, but it doesn't. You will get some kills if you hoard them all up, but you're not going to be able to just shoot like 5 rounds into a zombie and kill him right off the bat. That's not going to be happening. The fire rate's too slow for that and just doesn't do enough damage. So the best strategy that I can say for this weapon is to round them all up and then shoot into the horde. Or better yet, just really don't take this weapon to high rounds, because it's really just not a high round weapon. Alright, and taking the number 4 spot is going to be the dual wield 5.7s. Now the dual wield 5.7s are pretty good weapons. They have a fast fire rate, but like every other weapon, they just really don't do enough damage. And even with double tap 2.0, you're only going to be able to get like 10 kills, well maybe like 15, a little bit more, but that's really about it. I love having these weapons on early rounds. They're very good point weapons, and they can actually kill a zombie fairly quick. But on high rounds, you're really not going to be able to do much besides get 10 to maybe 15 kills like I just said. So with these weapons, I feel like if you maybe made them fully auto when they're upgraded, they might be worth, having on high rounds. Maybe they'd be a little bit better. I don't know. I'm not Treyarch. I don't really know what the fuck I'm doing. But these weapons, they'll get you some kills, but nothing special. And that's why 4 and 5 just really aren't up to par with numbers 1, 2, and 3. So let's go ahead and get on number 3. Alright, and taking the number 3 spot is going to be the Executioner. Now, the Executioner is a great weapon to have. This is definitely one of the weapons I would recommend to have if you're going for far rounds. This weapon carried me all the way up to like the 40s, I think, and then after that, that's when it sort of started to drop off. So the Executioner is a really good weapon. Its fire rate is amazing. It does a lot of damage, and with double tap 2.0, this weapon is just an absolute monster. But the only problem I have with this weapon is whenever you shoot it into a horde of zombies, your game is going to lag. And it's going to lag hard sometimes. This happened to me when I was doing my round 50 Nuketown run. Whenever I shot the Executioner into a horde of zombies, my game would just really lag out. And it was just so bothering. Sometimes I thought the game was going to crash. So eventually, I think around round 42 is when I actually had to stop using it until I got to round 50. Is because I was so terrified that I was either going to lag into a group of zombies or I was just going to lag my game out. So that's one thing you have to be careful with about this weapon, is if you shoot into a horde of zombies, you're going to lag. I asked in the comments of that video if other people lagged, and they said they did, so it wasn't just me. So do be careful, but other than that, this weapon is a really good weapon. If you're going to go for far rounds, I honestly think this should be your backup weapon, or if you're having 3 weapons, this should be one of your third weapons. This weapon is definitely a weapon that got me out of a lot of sticky situations. Alright, and taking the number 2 spot is going to be the Remington New Model Army. Now, one thing that a lot of people seem to have confused is that they all say that the Remington New Model Army and the Python have the same stats. Now, that is true for the unupgraded versions. When you pack a punch it, the Remington New Model Army is a lot better. Example, this video, I was actually able to get some kills, and a lot of kills. So for the Remington New Model Army, what you want to do is get them sort of in one big straight line. The best advice I can give you, and then aim for the head. You'll be able to get some kills. The fire rate's impressive, the damage is awesome, and double tap 2.0 just makes it even better. So Remington New Model Army is actually a weapon that's going to get you some kills. And I think I actually took this weapon to round 50 when I was doing Buried. I believe this was my second weapon, and I used it all the time. Like when I was going through the Witch's Mansion, or I was about to be cornered by like 1 or 2 zombies, this was the weapon that I just switched to and quickly got rid of them and then got out of there. But of course, it's not going to be on par with like a wonder weapon, but I would say out of all the regular weapons, it's still a pretty badass weapon. So let's go ahead and get on number 1. And taking the number 1 spot is going to be Boomhilda. Now, did you really even have to guess? This weapon is amazing as long as you aim for headshots. If you try to do anything else with it, you're just really kind of wasting your time. But headshots, this weapon equals just many kills. Oh, so tiny. But yeah, this weapon is actually a really good weapon to have on round 50. Like, one thing I always try to tell people is if you're playing on Origins and you really don't have any luck with the box, or you really want like a wonder weapon or anything, don't keep hitting the box. Save your money up and pack a punch the starting pistol, because it is a great weapon. It can take out the Panzer. It can take out, zombies. It can probably take out your friends to a nice lunch, but that's different. But I mean, this weapon is just a really good weapon. I would honestly say it's on par with the Ray Gun Mark II. It's not, up to standards with the Ray Gun Mark II, but it is up there. It can probably, hold its own against the Ray Gun Mark II. So if you really need a weapon to kill some zombies, or you know, you don't really feel like hitting the box to try to get a wonder weapon, the Boom Hilda I would strongly recommend you get. I always try to tell people this, but they just don't listen. But this weapon is a really good weapon to have. I recommend you get this weapon whenever you can. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'm very curious to know, did you guys agree with this list? And if not, put what you think should have went where in the comments, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.